Hi, welcome back to Marissa Explains It All, and today I'm going to be discussing the Makeup Forever Artist Palette that just came out that I had hauled in my Sephora haul video a few videos back, and it looks like this. The outside has this orange, iridescent, glittery packaging with the logo, the Makeup Forever logo there, and then here are what they look like. Now, there are lots of videos with this out there, so what I did was I will swatch them for you, and if you want to keep watching, I went ahead and filmed this look that I'm wearing right now, this cranberry gold sandwich look. So if you want to see how I went ahead and did this, you can go ahead and skip forward if you've already seen swatches or you already have the palette. But if you want to see swatches, then stick around because I will go ahead and swatch them all for you. This one is S102, S114, and ME112. And just like all of the other artist shadows, they're really nice. They feel really good. So, okay, there's those three. And then these next three, starting with this one, this is D236, S228, and ME216. And admittedly, the Makeup Forever names are a little bit confusing because it's hard to remember the names and the numbers combined, but the letter before the number means is the finish. So you can see how it drags all the way down. I mean, look at how awesome those are. A lot of times the shadows will start to putter out once you get down to the bottom of the swatch, but you can see these just drag all the way through. So, and they're a little bit like wet, not wet, but they're like not dry at all. So these next three are starting here. This is I916, D830, and I922. So for example, the I is iridescent and the D is diamond. So those are the finishes of the shadows. So that's what the first letter of each shadow means. Swatch those. That purple one is a little not as pigmented as the others, and sorry about that one. It's like a very, very light pink that blends with my skin tone. And then that other one has glitters in it when you see it in the pan, this one here. But it seems that when I swatched it that the glitters didn't stick. So let me try swatching it again. It kind of comes out like a matte there. You don't really see the... I suppose if you used a sticky base and like packed it on, that maybe it would work, but it kind of, the glitters fall out. They're a little bit there, but just not as chunky as they are in the pan. And then I'm going to move on to this arm for the next couple, 6 swatches I have because I'm running out of space on this one. But starting with this green one up here, this is I524, D826, and I662. So let me swatch those for you. Again, the blues are really pigmented and shimmery, beautiful colors. And then the last three are this row here, and this is the top one is I550, S522, and I528. Okay, so there's those three right there. So you can see, I mean, look at that black. Like there is no skipping or anything in that one. That's awesome. So there are all of the swatches from the palette. The only ones that I would say are kind of not as good as the others are these two here. So that is this purple here, this one, which is like a black with shimmers in it, and then they tend to kind of fall out when you swatch it, and I haven't applied it to my eyes, so I don't know, but if you use a sticky base, maybe you'd be able to pack it on and keep the integrity of some of those glitters. But this purple was a little bit patchy. Let's see if I can double swatch it there and see if it comes out better, but it just, the pigmentation wasn't as strong. So I mean, compared to the other ones, which were like one swatch, swipe it down, and you could see the pigment just stayed all the way through. That purple wasn't as bright as I would have liked. So those are the only two in the whole palette that I would say are not as good as the others. All the other ones are amazing, just like Makeup Forever. They're the same quality, the same consistency and everything as all of the other single shadows that you can get. So buying the palette is always a deal because they are pretty pricey. And I did a tutorial showing this look so you can see how the shadows performed on the eye. If you're interested in that, then go ahead and keep watching, and I'll see you later. Thanks. Okay, so I'm just gonna get right into the tutorial. Obviously I already have face makeup and bronzer and eyebrows, and I already did this eye, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do this eye on a flat shader, and I'm going to add that under my brow bone as a highlight, or on my brow bone as a highlight. I can't find my hair cube, so that's why my hair is in my face, which is annoying. But now I'm going to go into this shade right here, which is S114, and that's a satin finish. S means satin, and I would normally want to add a matte, but this one worked just fine. So I'm going to use a really fluffy brush and put that in my crease as my blending shade. So it's just a really, really light shade there. I wanted to use all shades from this palette, so that's why I went ahead and used a satin in my crease. So now I'm going to start on the lid for this kind of like sandwich look that I have, and I'm going to take a flat brush and go in to this shade right here, this cranberry shade, which is S228. And I'm going to put this on the inner and then the outer corners of my lid. And leave the middle blank, and then connect it through the crease there. Okay, so you can see how I just created that moon kind of shape there. And then I'm going to go into this gold shade, which is ME216, and with the same brush, and I'm gonna fill in that middle portion. And just kind of blend them all together there. So there it is. And then I'm going to take a crease brush. I'm going to dip back into that S114 shade, and I'm going to just blend those up more into the crease so that the line isn't so harsh. I do feel like I lost a little bit of the shade, so I'm going to go into the cranberry shade again on my finger and just pack it again. I use my fingers a lot to repack shadows onto my lid after blending them away, and then I'm going to go into the gold shade and do the same. Okay. And then just use a brush just to kind of blend them together so the line isn't so harsh. For the liner, I'm going to take my MAC Costa Riche, which is a really warm brown, and I'm going to tight line my entire eye. So upper, right along my lash line, just to add. For my lower lid, I'm going to go back into this gold shade right there on a fine, like small brush. I'm going to run that under where I put the Costa Riche liner. And then just take my crease brush as a blender and just blend it out a little bit. So there is the finished eye look with the shadow. So this one here. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my mascara and I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and added my mascara and I'm going to continue with adding my blush and my lips. I'm gonna use my MAC blush in the shade Breezy, which is this kind of burgundy, let's see, what are they calling it? A sheer tone shimmer blush. So it does have some shimmer to it. I wanted to add some shimmer, so just dip into that. And then for my highlight, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Fergie Center Stage collection, and this one is in Rose Champagne Glow on this Target brush here that I've been loving lately. Apply that as my highlight. For lipstick, I'm going to use the Bite Beauty lipstick in the shade Kir Royale. And it's like this. I just hauled this in my Sephora haul. And it's like a berry kind of shade. And I'm going to first line my lips with my MAC lip liner in the shade Beat. Now I'm going to add Kir Royale. So there is my finished look using the Makeup Forever Artist Palette that just recently released and that I just recently hauled in my Sephora haul. So a cranberry and gold look there, like a sandwiched look. Go ahead and like and subscribe and you'll see more from me later. Okay, thanks. Bye.